lot of people who have ADHD who work in not just the animation field, but creative fields in general. Honestly, it sometimes feels like the majority of people, like animators that, or I shouldn't say the majority. Sometimes it feels like a lot of the people I know who work in the animation industry have some form of ADHD or some like attention like disorder of some kind. I don't really like using that term because oftentimes it almost seems like it helps the creativity flow, because our brains just want to keep working and kind of want to keep going on different things and like, oh, I should do this idea and that idea. And it's why as artists, a lot of times we don't ever finish a project. We just move on to the next one and like jump and jump and jump. So is it possible? Yes, definitely. I've never like been officially diagnosed, but I do feel like sometimes my brain doesn't seem to want to focus on one thing. It wants to keep like focusing on others. I do feel like I have some form of it at times, especially when it comes to just sitting down and focusing and not getting like distracted. This is why I have to listen to music. You notice in these streams, I'm always listening to music. I could do the whole stream like this without headphones on, but then I can't hear the music. I need the music to help me think clearly, or else I tend to get distracted, or like my brain tends to wander off. So yeah, short answer, yes, you're not going to have a problem having ADHD at all in terms of working in the industry. There's always going to be like struggling points with things like that, of course, especially depending on the severity of it. But it's not going to be oh, you have ADHD. Sorry, you can't work at this studio. We need you to be more focused. No, not at all. So yeah, same thing goes with like anyone on the spectrum. That's not a limiting factor. I know a lot of people on all sorts of different spectrums, and they work wonderfully. They can work in the industry, and it's not a like brand against them. That's one of the beautiful things about the animation industry to me, is it's your work. If your work is good and you are fun to be around, so basically you're not a jerk that people like to work with you, you're going to get a job regardless of how old you are, what your physical limitations are, what your mental like any mental things are. You can work. It's those two big factors. You do good work, that's what studios care about, and that you're going to work well with the team, that you're not going to be the jerk that like basically walks in and punches someone in the face just because you felt like it. Not that that's ever happened, or at least hopefully not, but yeah, hopefully that answers the question there. And if you have any other questions on and this goes for anyone, anything like that, definitely let me know. We've done a ton of like mental health talks on these streams, and it's one of my like passions, is mental health and making sure people try to take care of themselves, not just physically but mentally and all of that. So if anyone has questions on those types of topics, always feel free to ask. I will say I'm not a psychiatrist. I've never like taken those types of classes, but I like to learn that kind of stuff, and just these are experiences that I've had a lot as well.